This week I worked with an art teacher. We made these very cute If I Ran the Zoo Dr. Seuss sort of revised book covers. We did it with students in second grade, and we got the idea from this blog post. The blog is Dryden Art, and the teacher, Miss Fugelstead, right over here, is very good at integrating technology into the art classroom. And I've been following her on Twitter and following her blog for a while. And I saw this project here and I thought, ooh, I could easily do it. So Miss Fugelstead does give very good instructions. So she kind of walks you through her entire process. So it's easy to duplicate her activities, and she gives you all the material that you need as well. Now, our biggest problem was that clearly her students are iPad. So we have iPads. And our students, the only students in our district that have iPads are K1-2 students. So if I wanted to duplicate this activity, I had to have done it with that grade group. So when I contacted the teacher, the art teacher, to see if she wanted to try this out, we knew we had to do it with a second grade class, sort of the older group. And we picked a group that was pretty well behaved and pretty self-sufficient to try it out with. So we went ahead and did this project with this group of second graders, and we knew we were going to run into problems. This is our first project collaborating together. It's our first time integrating art with technology. And some of the problems that we experienced were the app that Ms. Fugelstead used wasn't available anymore. So we had to find a comparable app, but the app was a bit clunky for the students to use. So that required a lot of pre-setting up on both Ms. Peterling and my end of this project. So Miss Peterling had these children, this was a 2 class period project, and she sees them on a 6-day rotation. So these are 2 55-minute classes. So in the first one, she introduced the concept of Dr. Seuss and his covers and sort of his artwork, and she had them design paper and draw their creature that they were going to put on the zoo covers. And the next class period is when we introduced the app to them, showed them how it worked, and had them go and take their picture and trace over it. The next problem we ran into was getting it from their app into their camera roll in order to share it with us, and they weren't talking together, and we still can't figure it out. We have our IT folks sort of working on it, so we had to take screenshots, which meant that we had to remove the background in another program. So really, all in all, the project was fun. The kids enjoyed it, but the work on sort of the back end, on the tech end, was clunky, was not an easy workflow, and there was no way an art teacher could have done this by herself in the classroom. So Miss Peterling right here and myself debriefed after this project. And one of the big things we said is this would be a great project if we had it with the older students, but we don't really have any app or I know of any website that would allow students to do what we needed to do with this project. Around the same time, I signed up to take this sketchnoting workshop online, and I was reviewing some class material when I came across this random post. So this was a comment on a post within our Google Classroom, and when I read it, I zoned in on this sentence. I like Canvas, and it's got a link here since it is web-based. And I'm like, what is this? And I went to investigate. When I initially opened up the website, I sort of clicked on their help or about section, and they said that the website was for Chromebooks only, which I thought, okay, well, our students don't have Chromebooks, but it seemed to be working in our platform, which was an HP touchscreen tablet. And this website will do exactly what I need it to do for that particular project. So right here, I'm going to say new from image. So the students, I need them to have the ability to trace over something they drew in class. So here is one of the students' artwork right here. It has layers. So right here, I could turn this off and turn it back on so the kids have the ability to trace over. You've got your color palette, which we loved. You have the ability to customize right here, so you can put in a specific hex code if you need it. So Dr. Seuss, I don't know if you're aware of it, uses a very sort of specific teal color. So we could find that hex code and put it down here. You have the ability to make the size bigger and the opacity of your color sort of lighter or darker. You've got a pencil, pen, marker, chalk, and eraser. So I went ahead and decided to test it out, and you can zoom in, so that's very important as well. So this is me zooming in on this Seuss-inspired animal. And I'm going to actually change the line to probably about 11 is good. And I'm able to trace over without any problems. I can change my color. So I'm going to palette and I'm going to go here and I can color in right there as well. I found a website right here. I think it's that I put in teal, and so I got all these sort of color variations right here. So I'm going to choose this one right here. I'm going to copy that hex code. So this is a copy. Come over here, click on custom, come down here, paste the hex code, hit enter, and now I've got teal, and I can sort of change it around to sort of match that Seuss teal color right there. So I'm going to click out and just show you right there that I could use that teal color as well. Here's my finished artwork right here. And all students would need to do is touch the three dots and say save as image. So it'll start to download sort of at the bottom of their screen. And in this case, I could send them a cover right here if I ran the zoo, and all they would have to do, so this is in Google Slides, is drag their picture and place it in there and send it to me in Google Classroom. Now, we changed the book cover right here to say by Dr. Seuss and Quinn. And I was trying to find font that was similar to Dr. Seuss font within the Google family. And the closest I could find was something called Chewy. So this is the font Chewy. So it's close and good enough, I think, for this project. If you don't want to use Google Slides and you're more familiar with PowerPoint, you can still do it. So this is PowerPoint. So here is my book cover. I did download an app I got from a site called DaFont. So if you're interested in that, I'll also link it in the description. But the font is Dr. Seuss, spelled like this. And once the students have the image download, or you have it somehow on your computer, you can drag it down until the PowerPoint opens up, drag it up into the slide area, and there you go. You've got a very cute Dr. Seuss cover. I am ridiculously excited about this web-based sort of artist tool right here. I still need to try it on student devices to make sure that the site is not blocked, but I see a lot of potential. Probably the one downfall, I would say, it is web-based, so it is internet dependent. So if our internet went down, that might be an issue. But I feel like this app could also be used as a whiteboard if you were with students and you wanted them to solve a problem or illustrate like water cycle or something like that on their tablets. So I'm just going to go back to the gallery right here. It does save your images that you use. So these are all sort of my attempts at practicing with this project, and they could easily just delete things what they didn't need right here. So all in all, I think this is a fairly good substitute and a workaround for having our students in grades 3, 4, and 5 do the zoo cover project.